Hi everyone and welcome to this week's Fallout 4 mod picks. Now I'm going to start this week's episode off with the very nice looking Grasslands mod. This mod adds new grass textures to the game which are very different from the vanilla textures. There's also two variants available. There is a unhealthy version which gives a very browny green type grass. Then there is the healthy version which is a very green and vibrant grass which has flowers dispersed within it as well. In these before and after shots you can see the difference between the vanilla textures, the healthy version and then the unhealthy version. Personally, my preferred variant is the unhealthy version just because it keeps in more with the original tone of Fallout 4, and the healthy version just a bit too green, a bit too vibrant, even though it does look very nice and very beautiful in game. You will however notice a slight performance impact from this mod. The grass is a lot denser, and depending on where you are in game you will notice a significant drop in FPS. If you do suffer from a significant drop in FPS from this mod, there is a performance version available in the downloads section which will reduce the density of the grass and should be a little bit better on your system. To check out the mod you'll find a link down in the description below. Just remember to endorse the mod if you use. This next mod is another new texture and it's one for the Holodisks that you'll find throughout the game. Now there are several variants of the Holodisks available. You can have them appearing as though they're from RobCorp or as though they're from Vault-Tec. Now there is also two additional variants on top of that which will make the discs look rusty. For me this is a great little texture replacer which makes a vast improvement over what the Holodisks looked in the vanilla game. They look a bit boring, a bit really bland, and this just has a massive improvement on them. As always, textures are down to personal preference and this may not be for everybody, such as the Grasslands mod which we showed just before. However, for me this is a great replacer and I'm looking forward to using this in my own game. Last week I took you to my guns table and this week I'll return there for a brief couple of mods. The first is Modern Firearms. At the moment this mod adds 3 weapons to the game which are based upon modern weapons that you'll find in our timeline. These weapons are the AR, the ACR and the MP5. Now future plans for the mod are to add several other weapons including a G36 and an AK. These weapons have been added to the level list, which means you'll find them on enemies throughout the world space, and also you may find them in certain vendors. This also means that if you use any other mods that have level lists with them, you should probably make a merged patch using Fallout 4 Edit. At this point in time, if you want to acquire the weapons without finding them naturally, you will have to use console commands. Also, there is a unique system when it comes to crafting the weapon modifications. They are unique to each of these weapons. They're not like the normal modifications that you have for all of the other guns in game. You will have to craft certain components first in order to be able to add the modifications to your weapons. And you'll see what I mean when you go to the weapons bench and start crafting those items. There are a lot of great gun mods out for Fallout 4 at the moment, and this is another good one to add to that collection. Next, instead of focusing on destruction, let's focus on healthcare with the Decontamination Booth. This mod adds a Decontamination Booth to the game which can be crafted at any settlement and placed a numerous amount of times. All you need to do is open the door to the booth, step inside, and the shower will take care of your radiated skin. Depending on how much radiation you actually have, may mean that it may take several showers to get rid of this radiation, so you can just keep cycling yourself a shower every time you need to. At the moment there is no real effect to show that the booth is working apart from the light coming on, and this may be added in future updates. Also, the mod does use scripts to manage the effects. which means that if you are looking to uninstall this mod in an ongoing playthrough, you will need to do it safely by first removing all of the decontamination booths and then making yourself a clean save. And last up this week, I'm going to take you back to the gun table again in this episode and look at another standalone pipe shotgun. Now this one is very different from the pipe shotgun I showed several videos back. For a starter, it's only single barrel and only has 2 types of grip. This version of the pipe shotgun is a little bit limited in terms of modifications that you can add. For example, there are only 4 scopes and you can only really add a muzzle brake to the end of the gun, whereas in other mods you may be able to add things like a bayonet, etc. However, the shotgun does pack a punch in game, the textures are really nice and the artwork itself is fantastic. It looks really like it is a part of the game and fits nicely in with the pipe weapons. This is another weapon that has been added to the level list, so again you'll find it on enemies and at some vendors. And of course, if you're using it with other level list mods, remember you probably do need to make yourself a merge patch. So that brings me to the end of this week's episode. If you've liked any of the mods that I've shown in this video, you'll find links for them down in the description below. If you do use any of the mods, please do remember to endorse them. Also, if you did like the video, please do drop it a like down below, it means a lot. And remember to subscribe if you haven't already to keep up to date with my content. Next week's episode will be out on Thursday, and you can catch more of my content over on Twitch, Twitter, and nosgaming.com. As always guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.